So hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mickey B from Dutch Bushcraft Knives, and today I'm going to be field testing my Bark River Bushcrafter in CPM 3V steel. I'm going to be doing some tests like feather sticking, batoning, maybe making a spear, and I asked you guys to do some requests in the previous video I made about this day. To do some requests what I could do with the knife, and I saw feather sticking come up. Somebody asked me to make a spoon, so I might be doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's go ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you how sharp it is on paper. This is absolutely no problem for this knife, of course. And what I'm going to test out is that after the batoning and after all the tests, I'm going to do the paper test again, and I'm going to see how well it performs. So let's start batoning. It's my friend Martin. This wood is a little damp. And it had a few knots, but for the size it actually batons quite easily. I mean, of course, this wood is almost just as wide as the knife is. Just as wide as the knife is long. Split easily. Okay, so really in not a long time, quite very quick, I made this with the knife, and I really didn't hold back with how hard I was pounding on the knife. So but now I'm going to do a stress test, which of course what happens with this knife is that you hit this knife into the wood. And then, to understand it a little, it doesn't cut the wood with the edge, it cuts the wood with the sides of the knife, so the wood splits because of the pressure. So now I'm going to do a test which is purely the apex edge, but which I'm stress testing. So this is.
Una canción, la noche aquella que te entregó aquel poeta que se inspiró en mi tristeza. Porque aquella noche presentía que su amor ya no sería como antes para mí.
So this is me just chopping into two halves with brute force. You often see this kind of technique in a survival situation, and people often use sticks, so I'll do that because that goes a lot faster. But this was purely for testing the strength out of this steel, because this is CPM 3V steel, and this is a really hard steel, hardened to 61 HRC, which theoretically should chip. But so I'm going to test that for theory. So I found this normal stick, and let's do the same test with that one. And the thickest part of the stick. See, you've got a little branch there. Let's do that. Two. These are two chops. See? Okay, so now we've got all these little pieces. Now I'm gonna make a feather stick. Nice. Wow. Okay, nice. Okay, so now for one more test, I'm going to test the back of this knife, how sharp it is for striking a fire steel. I've noticed that the Volknieven F1 has a much better back, or the Enzo Trap has also got a much sharper back for this type of job. But I'm just going to try it. See, it's not really... I didn't get it working with the Bushcrafter, so what I'm going to do now as a comparison, just got my F1 with a much sharper back, and I'm going to try to, with the same shavings, I'm going to try to get it working with this knife. Okay, so that's kind of the comparison. So what I can say is that with the Bushcrafter, it's a much tougher job with the back, with the normal back that the Bark River gives to the Bushcrafter. It's a much tougher job to get a fire going than with the F1, which within a few strikes it worked. So anyway, let's go over to the next test. What just happened, Marta just came to me and said, yeah, try to baton this piece of wood. So this is kind of a big log and really hard wood. And so that's now going to be the challenge for me to stop to try and baton this piece of wood. As you can see, I can't do it straight through the middle, so I need to do it in small bits. Look at all these pieces I made. This is a much easier task with a bigger knife or with an axe, and hopefully with an axe you can pound it into a few bits within 2 or 3 blows. But yeah, this is just to test the knife, of course, so I'm really happy with the test. Martin, you gave me the log. What do you think of the result?
Well, it was a very hard log, so I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah.
And batoning with your knife is also very handy around the campsite, because you do not always have an axe with you.
Now, the next test I'm doing isn't really a test that you want to be doing with your knife, because it's very inefficient, and I always find that it makes my knife really blunt, and it gives a lot of edge problems. And that's just, the test is going to be this. Just hacking into wood till the wood is in two. And the thing is, the way I got this scar on my hand is exactly by doing this, and by kind of missing the wood and hacking into my hand. So I love this test. I always prefer to do this test with a lanyard through the hole.
En dat moet je nog steeds bij je hand. Omdat het een beetje pijnlijk opgeplekt zijn van het optrekken.
Like that, like a beaver. So, although this isn't really what a knife like this is made for, because it's a bushcraft knife, and to be honest, I wouldn't really say that this has got a lot to do with bushcraft, but more with survival, and this is by all means called the Bushcrafter. So, I'm gonna do a little bushcraft with it. Anyway, I'm very curious to see how the edge has held itself after this test. I've decided to already test my edge, because I've been looking at it and it doesn't seem to have a lot of edge problems, so I'm gonna try it out. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see this, but after all this testing, batoning and kind of hacking away, this is now the result. So to be honest, this is kind of grown in my my favorite rank. Okay guys, one of you asked me to carve a spoon. I hate you. No, joking. I am now gonna carve a spoon. After about 15 minutes, this is how far I am. But not to worry. I'm gonna maybe you hear Maarten being busy at the back, polishing his knife. Anyway, let me continue. Okay guys, I finished. This is my spoon. No, I'm joking. This is a hell of a lot of work. Yeah. So this is the state so far. It's I'm gonna saw it off or chop it off with my knife here. And then this is gonna become the spoon here, see? And then here, so. The knife still shaves like a dream, it's unbelievable. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting off the front of the spoon. This is my current progress on the spoon. And everything is done by a knife, so I haven't used any other tool yet. Now it's really starting to become a spoon. And as you can see, I cut myself. Now it's only details. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you the result of the spoon. This is it. This is the final outcome of the spoon. And I'm not a spoon maker, so of course 1,000 things could be better. But I did it as a knife test. I'll put some pictures in the video at the end. So now the big question is, how did this knife perform after all these tests? Well, I already kind of did the test before this video, and I'm very surprised. Look at this. No edge problems at all. And yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of amazed, and this knife has definitely raised itself up in my top 5 list of my most favorite knives. Let me just tell you a few things. Let me just sum this whole video up. I did the hacking and it performed outstandingly. I did the batoning, and although the wood didn't split immediately, it did the job fine and it didn't have any edge problems because of it. The only downside was that the back from the original spine from the knife that Bark River gave it isn't good for starting a fire with a fire steel. I mean, it is possible, but it's a little bit difficult, so I would personally adjust it myself, and that's really easy with a belt grinder or whatever, some sandpaper. And then after that I made a spoon, and trust me, for hours I've been working with this knife and it has no edge problems at all. I've been looking at it and I can give it a few strops. Bark River white compound. Ah, nice. No problem at all. I'm very happy with this knife. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later.